Hi, everybody. He is risen indeed. Thank you for joining me for this prayerful pause with the pastor on real time, the day after Easter. Whew, wow, we made it, didn't we? I saw a cartoon once. If I can find it before I post this, I'll put it in so you can see it too. But it showed a minister the day after Easter, and his wife, it was a male minister, and his wife said, "Christ may have risen, but the minister is dead." I can really relate. As I told my congregations, it was like combining March Madness with the Super Bowl. It was, I think, truthfully, the thing that is just so hard right now is the number of people who need pastoral care. And, it's the longest list I think we've ever had since I've been at South. The greatest number of people at the same time. And there's nothing little about any of their needs. They're all big ones. So I invite your prayers for the people of South and Irondequoit Presbyterian churches and for their pastor. So my topic for today is this. If I were preaching it, I would say, yeah, so what? So we have gotten through Easter and Christ is risen. So what does that mean to you? What does it mean in your life? What does it mean in the world? I mean, we are a post-resurrection people, as you hear me say frequently. So it's not like we suddenly have him risen, but we're reminded of it again. Let me pull that down and get rid of some of the glare. We're reminded of it again because of the calendar, right? What does it mean? What does it mean to you? How does Easter change anything for you or me? How does it change anything for people in Ukraine? How does it change anything for prisoners around the world? How does it change anything? Now, so what? So what, he's risen. I was thinking about Easter hymns this morning as I was getting ready to sit down here. And hello, Cleo. We don't get to see you very often. We usually see Little Cat. Oh, there's Little Cat. We're going to just have a plethora. It'll be a cat convention here. You can tell how much they love each other. That hasn't changed with Easter. I've been thinking about hymns. Yes, let's have you come over here. All right, there you go. I know you won't stay, but it's my attempt at peacemaking. I keep thinking of that hymn, "The strife is o'er, the battle won, the victory for life is done," or whatever those words are, something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, what strife is really ended? The battle for what? Well, traditional theology would say the battle against sin and evil. We know that eventually good is going to win out because of Easter, right? But what has changed now for any of us? And I want to point out that everything has changed if we allow Jesus to be resurrected inside of us. I posed the question to both congregations and the online community yesterday by saying, Christ is risen, but has he risen inside of you? In both places, I think in both of the live worships, not in the recorded one, I talked about, I think I've shared it here before, the Matlock episode that I watched one time where Matlock was defending, he was a Southern lawyer in Atlanta, and he was defending an accused murderer, but they couldn't find the body. And he kept saying, the guy's not really dead. How do we know the guy's dead? And he looked at the jury in his closing arguments, and he said, let's say the guy's name was Phil, I don't know. He says, in 30 seconds, you're going to see Phil come in through that door back there. That door right over there. You're going to see Phil enter because he's not dead. And he said a few more sentences, and he goes, well, we're down to 15 seconds now. You're going to see Phil. He's going to walk right through that door. And he went on a few more, and he goes, and now we're into the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And everybody from the jury, their head went to the side to look at the door. And of course, Phil didn't show up because Phil really was dead. But they all turned back and they looked at him, and he said, and if you looked at the door, then you have to vote not guilty because you have reasonable doubt. That has always struck me because I think about these early appearances of Jesus. Not just Thomas, who wasn't there to see it when it happened with the other D's, but all of the appearances. I've forgotten how many there are in between then and Pentecost. And when we have felt Jesus in our own lives. And so I encouraged both of the congregations to picture themselves, as I'm encouraging you now, to picture yourself in a comfortable place where you frequently are when you pray, or not, but where you spend a lot of life. Could be your living room in front of the TV, could be the kitchen table. And picture Jesus sitting there with you, or across the table from you. What does it feel like to see him? He might be in a white robe. He might be in street clothes of today. What does it feel like to you to have that experience? And why don't we have those experiences more? Why are we not picturing that? Because he is risen. And maybe all he's needing is that invitation to come and be with us in that way. And I asked all of them, what are you feeling? And it was a full gamut. Some felt uncomfortable, scared. Others felt extremely calm. And one guy said, what did he say? Perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. And some were nervous. Others were just in awe. It's okay. What would you feel like? That is how it can change things. Easter changes things because he lives. Easter changes things because he can be with us at any day, any time. Easter changes things because the resurrection proves that God will win out. Nothing can stop God's love from getting to us, not even death itself. So for people who are in Ukraine, I think they would find that a comfort. Will it change our worldly events? Probably not in the sense of God intervening. But it will change our worldly experience of those events, or our experience of the worldly events. And when we are changed, then our attitudes and actions change, and that can change the world events. So it does. What happened, what we celebrated yesterday, changes everything. Everything. But it doesn't help if we're not aware of it. That's like having the tomb rolled away and we don't walk out into the new life. So my friends, today is the first day after the resurrection. How are you going to use it? How is the resurrection going to change your life today? Thanks for joining me for this prayerful pause with the pastor. I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, God bless, take care, and bye for now.